So close your eyes. Do you feel the same?
Hello YouTube friends, it's Lee here. Welcome to Junk Journal January for 2025. This is an open challenge hosted by Meg from Meg Journals. There's a link to Meg's channel in my video description box. If you want to check out the people that are actually doing videos for Meg, there's links to them all on her video page. Follow the link on my video description box and you'll be able to find that information. This is the journal I'm using. So it's a tab bound journal, very first one that I've ever done, so it's a little bit rough but it's pretty good for what I want, and I'll be filling a page every day using the prompts provided by Meg. The prompt for today is outline, so I'm going to do some collaging. So I've got a piece of old dictionary paper here and I'm going to stencil onto that, and I'm going to use this butterfly which has been printed onto acetate as my reference, and I'm going to trace the butterfly onto a piece of baking paper after I fiddle around with a few different options here. So I thought maybe this mulberry paper might work. I changed my mind and I go ahead and use the baking paper. So I hope you enjoy this one, and it gives you some ideas of how to address this prompt. And outlining is something that I love to do and do it quite frequently, usually in Stabilo pencil because I love to smudge that. I've just glued that butterfly onto the baking paper with a bit of glue stick just to keep it from moving around while I trace it. I'm going to use this Sharpie to trace my image onto the baking paper. So everything that goes underneath the butterfly will be able to be seen through it. Okay, that's done, and I'll pop that to the side and work on this page. I do cut the butterfly out before I attach it to the actual page itself. So I've got my stencil and I'm going to stencil with some gesso, and I'm going to use a paint knife. So I've got a nice chunky layer of gesso in there. It's going to sort of be a bit like texture paste because it's nice and thick. And because I'm slack and I don't clean my stencils, that gesso is going to pick up some of the colours that are on the stencil from previous uses. So here it is, and it looks lovely. I really like that. I do trim off the straight edges, of course. I scrounge around in my tub of treasures that I've got off to the side there and pull out a couple of pieces that I want to use in this little collage, and once I've decided where I want them and what I want, I'm going to ink up my pieces and glue them down. I've torn that other edge off the page. I was going to leave it on to start with, but then I changed my mind. Now I'm just going to go over this butterfly with a darker line to make it stand out a bit more, and I end up using this Sharpie. But because it is baking paper, which everyone knows is non-stick, it's a little bit patchy. Not much I can do about that at the moment. But what I do a bit later on is go over it with my Stabilo pencil, because that seems to stick to the baking paper a bit better. All I'm really looking for is to get a little bit more contrast on the butterfly against the other pieces. So I popped it on the page, decided, yeah, I like that, and now I'm going to cut it out and I will glue down my composition. Before I actually glue those pieces down, I decide that I want to mute out that background a little bit. It's just a bit too busy, and this is just a cheap acrylic paint, and the colour is called Sakura, which I think is the colour of cherry blossoms, if I remember correctly. Or maybe there's a sakura cherry tree. I'm not sure. I've heard the word before. So I'm just adding a little bit of that on. It's a fairly pleasant sort of a pink colour. After applying that pink, I then put my pieces back on there again and think, nah, there's a bit too much pink there now. So to knock it back a little bit, I'm just going to scrape some gesso over the top of it. There's a lot of push and pull in this game that we play. So we do things, we don't like it, we do something else to adjust it. Maybe you don't like that again, so we do something else. So yeah, it's just creating on the fly, really. Some things you don't have to think about, but stuff like this, it's trial and error for me anyway. So yeah, just if you get into this situation, just keep going, keep adding stuff. The worst thing that can happen is that you completely ruin your page, but you know what you can do. You can actually paint over the whole lot of it with gesso, or stick a big piece of paper over the top, and hey presto, you have a blank page again to start work on. And how do I know that? Well, maybe I've done it a couple of times. So finally I'm actually sticking down my pieces. I'm happy with the way that gesso and the pink look together now. And I love the colour of that first piece I put down. It's got a really purpley tinge to it. I did think about colouring the gesso on this piece of paper, the stenciled stuff, but I don't do it. I did tear off the top and the bottom straight edges. This glue that I'm using is an acetate or acetone based one. I'm not sure whether it's acetone or acetate. It's really good because it's virtually the same as Fabri-Tac, so it doesn't make your paper wrinkle, so that's a bonus. So yeah, there's the butterfly on there. Doesn't it look good now? So what am I doing? So I'm going to do some outlining. What am I using? I started off with something else, but now I've got my Stabilo pencil, my trusty old Stabilo. If you're enjoying this video and you're finding value here and some inspiration, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. You can leave a comment, that's really nice. You don't have to leave a long one, you can just leave me a thumbs up or you know, like a happy face, smiley face, a heart, something like that, just so I know that you're enjoying it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, why not? It's free, doesn't cost anything, so hit that subscribe button so you can share the video with family and friends, and you can make clips from it as well. So there's a clip button. At long last, that butterfly finds his home on top of those papers, and I really love the way this looks. So do let me know what you think. So time to stabilo the edge of the page, and why use a small point when you can use one of these big chunky little stabilo woodies? Gets the job done faster.
ticking off outline and writing it on the page, and methinks this might be finished. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, show the love. I'd really appreciate every single one of you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hugs and cheers from Australia. Hooroo!